Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty special. It's like a treasure box of wisdom, all collected around a single day, July 25th.
Right.
But the sources,
Yeah.
they're all over the map.
Mm.
We've got ancient philosophers, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius.
The Stoics.
Yeah, exactly. Then modern business gurus like Peter Drucker, and even, unexpected folks like Bruce Lee and basketball player Bam Adebayo.
It's quite a mix, and our mission really for this deep dive is to sift through these treasures together with you.
Yeah.
We want to pull out the really important nuggets, the insights that can genuinely help you live, well, smarter, more intentionally, a better life, ultimately. And what's fascinating is how these pieces, though they seem so different, kind of fit together like a puzzle, giving you this bigger picture.
Okay, so here's the big question we want you to think about today. How can all this wisdom, stretching across centuries in different fields, actually give you a shortcut? How can it equip you with stuff you can use, like right now? Let's get into it. So first up, let's lay the groundwork. This idea that getting ready, preparation is super important.
Foundational, really.
Totally. There's this pretty blunt quote from Bam Adebayo. He says, "Piss-poor performance promotes pain, but proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance."
Yeah, it doesn't mince words.
Not at all. But the message is clear,
Right.
right? Preparing ahead might feel like work, but it's way less painful than messing up later.
Right.
It's like studying for a big test instead of just watching TV. You put the work in up front.
Right. And that planning, that preparation, it links directly to the next vital step, which is actually doing something with it. Application.
Yes.
Bruce Lee put it incredibly well. He said, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. It really is. It's not just about fighting, it's about anything. You can read a ton of books on, say, riding a bike.
Right.
But until you actually get on the bike and wobble around and, probably fall off a few times,
Yeah, definitely.
that knowledge is just abstract. You have to do it to really get it.
That's so true. That doing part.
Yeah.
That's where the real learning clicks in, isn't it? Putting the knowledge into practice. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about how smart business thinkers operate, especially looking at Peter Drucker's 4 lessons in marketing.
Trucker's always insightful.
Absolutely. Lesson 1 is, well, it feels a bit backwards at first. Don't try to buy customers. Make sure you're profitable so you can reinvest.
Interesting.
Yeah. Think about Henry Ford. He said, "We can sell the Model T at such a low price only because it earns such a nice profit."
So the profit came first, enabling the low price.
Exactly. That profit wasn't just, pocket money. It was fuel. Fuel to pour back into better promotion, better service, stronger dealers, making the car itself better.
Oh, okay, I see.
Now, contrast that with the Hyundai Excel. Remember that car?
Vaguely, yeah. A big flop, wasn't it?
Spectacularly so. And Drucker points out why. It wasn't a terrible car, actually, but they priced it so low that there was zero profit left. Nothing to reinvest in marketing or service or improvements. So even though the product was decent, the strategy collapsed because there was no engine for growth.
Fascinating. So profit isn't greed, it's sustainability and investment.
Precisely. Now, Drucker's other lessons build on this. What's next?
Right, so lesson 2 is about how you define the market. Drucker says focus on what the product does, not just what it is.
Okay, unpack that a bit.
Well, the classic example is how the Japanese took over the American fax machine market. They didn't just think, who needs a machine that sends documents? They asked, what does this thing do? It delivers paper instantly. Then they looked around and saw services like Federal Express booming.
The courier market.
Exactly. They realized the market for instant paper delivery was already huge and proven. They just offered a different way to do it. It's about understanding the underlying need, not just the physical product.
That's a smart way to look at it. What else?
Lesson 3 is crucial, but often missed. Marketing starts by looking at all the customers in the market, not just focusing only on your current customers.
So thinking bigger than your existing base.
Right. Don't just optimize for who you already have.
Yeah.
Understand the entire potential landscape. And lesson 4 is about seeing demographic shifts as a major opportunity.
Like changes in population or lifestyles.
Exactly. He gives the example of how some newer, more community-focused pastoral churches grew rapidly. They tapped into changing family structures and needs that maybe older institutions weren't meeting. They saw the demographic shift and adapted.
Okay, so let's quickly recap those points for you, the listener. These are really actionable. 1, don't try to buy customers, aim for profit to reinvest. fast. 2, ask what's the market for what this does.
Key question.
3, look at all potential customers, not just your current ones.
Yeah.
And 4, keep an eye on demographic changes, their opportunities. Now, this strategic thinking, it applies beyond business, right? It connects to how we build our own lives. Which brings us to our next segment, thinking about your legacy, maybe. We're calling it, What's on Your Tombstone?
A sobering but important question.
Yeah. This comes from the Daily Stoic, reflecting on Seneca. Seneca noticed how people burn out their whole lives chasing status, rank, position.
The climb.
Right, climbing that ladder.
Yeah.
But they forget to actually live. He points out, some die halfway up, others reach the top and realize...
What was it all for?
Exactly. Their grand prize is just an inscription on a gravestone.
Yeah.
And Seneca's point is that's not much of a prize for giving up your whole life.
Ooh, that hits hard. And you see how easily professional goals can sort of take over, become the whole point.
Totally.
Like a politician maybe neglecting their family, justifying it by saying the office demands it, or an artist or writer who thinks being a genius means they can be selfish or unkind. Often, Seneca might argue, that's masking something else, like maybe a love of fame or just feeling superior. The doing overshadows the being.
You are a human being, not a human doing.
That's the core of it. And Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the writer, he had a really blunt take on this too. He said, work is what horses die of. Everybody should know that.
Wow.
His point wasn't that work is bad, but that we humans are meant for more than just endless toil. Our purpose is bigger than just our output.
So that makes you wonder, doesn't it? A question for you listening. Are you, maybe without realizing it, sacrificing your actual life, your relationships, your well-being for accomplishments that might look good on paper, but maybe won't matter that much in the end?
Yeah.
How do you find that balance?
Okay, let's talk about something that feels, well, almost comforting in a weird way. This idea, terrible is the friend of good.
Huh. Yeah, I like that framing.
It basically means if you want to create anything worthwhile or learn anything new, you have to be willing to produce a lot of, well, terrible stuff first.
You have to embrace the mess. Yeah. Exactly. Think about your first attempts at drawing or learning piano. All those wrong notes. Or writing that first draft is usually pretty rough.
Oh, absolutely. Painfully rough sometimes.
But that's okay. That terrible stuff isn't failure. It's necessary. It's how you stumble onto the good stuff.
It really is. Every single mistake, every terrible attempt, it's actually data. It's a learning opportunity.
Like a scientist.
Precisely. Like a scientist running experiments. An experiment failing isn't a waste. It tells you something important. It rules something out, refines your understanding, points you in a new direction.
Yeah, okay.
You learn just as much, maybe more, from what doesn't work as from what does. It's all part of the process of figuring things out.
So the message for you is, don't be scared to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to create something imperfect. That's not just okay. It's actually how you learn and get better. It's essential for growth. All right, let's shift again, this time towards relationships and maybe our inner compass. How to be a good friend or just a good person in interactions.
Important stuff.
Yeah. There's this really nice piece of advice about balance. Give but don't be used. Love but don't let yourself be abused. Trust but follow the evidence. Listen but don't lose your own voice.
That covers a lot. Let's break it down.
Okay. Give but don't be used. That's like, being generous, sharing your time or resources, but noticing if it's always one-sided. Setting boundaries.
Reciprocity matters. Okay. Love, but don't let yourself be abused.
That seems straightforward, but crucial. Offer kindness, affection, support, but demand respect in return. Don't tolerate being treated badly.
Mutual respect. Got it.
Yeah.
Trust, but follow the evidence.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Assume the best in people. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
But pay attention to their actions.
Exactly. Actions over words. See if their behavior lines up with what they say over time. And finally, listen, but don't lose your own voice.
So value others' perspectives.
Definitely. Hear them out. But don't forget your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own needs. Your voice matters too in any relationship.
That's a really solid framework for healthy interactions. And there was also specific advice for teachers, but it applies everywhere, really.
Oh yeah. What was that?
The idea is to aim for giving about 6 compliments for every 1 criticism.
6 to 1.
Wow. Yeah. It sounds like a lot, maybe, but the point is to build people up. Create an environment of encouragement where feedback can actually land well, rather than just constantly pointing out flaws.
Makes sense. Builds trust and receptiveness. Okay, and what about right and wrong? There was something quite simple offered there.
There was a sort of internal gut check. If you feel good after you do it, it is moral. If you feel bad after you do it, it is bad.
Now, that's not just about fun versus hard work, is it?
No, not at all. It's about that deeper feeling, like
Yeah.
helping your sibling with homework might be effort, but you feel that sense of rightness, maybe pride afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, say, telling a small lie might feel easy in the moment, but it leaves that nagging, uncomfortable feeling inside. Guilt, maybe, that's the signal.
Our internal compass.
Exactly. And this connects really beautifully to something Buddha taught. Happiness comes when your work and your words are of help to yourself and to others.
Ah, so it's about choices that benefit both.
Right. Not just self-interest and not just self-sacrifice either, but finding that sweet spot where your actions uplift both you and the people around you.
Okay, final segment. Dealing with life's challenges, the inevitable curveballs.
Mm-hmm.
How do we handle problems like a smart person?
Yeah, how to navigate the storms.
There's this brilliant quote from William Arthur Ward. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The realist adjusts the sail.
I love that one.
Me too. That's such a clear picture. You're in a sailboat. The wind's against you. The pessimist just moans about it. The optimist kind of sits there, hoping the wind will magically shift in their favor.
Wasting time.
Right. But the realist, they accept the wind for what it is right now, and they get busy. They adjust the sails, they change course, they figure out how to use the conditions, even if they're not ideal, to keep moving forward.
They focus on what they can control, their actions, their response.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Adaptability, resourcefulness.
Huh?
And speaking of facing reality, Marcus Aurelius adds another layer, a really profound one.
The emperor philosopher.
Yes. He reminds himself and us. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think.
Whoa. Heavy.
It is, but it's not meant to be morbid, I think.
No, it's about urgency, focus. Exactly. It underscores how precious time is. It's a call to live with intention, to make sure your actions, your words, your thoughts actually align with what you truly value. Because, you don't know how much time you have.
Right. So the encouragement for you listening is twofold here. First, how can you be more of a realist in your own life? When challenges hit, how can you focus on adjusting your sails on what you can do?
Mm-hmm.
And second, how can remembering that life is finite help you live each moment more intentionally, focusing on what truly matters to you?
Looking back at everything we've touched on from this single day, July 25th, it's amazing how it all weaves together.
It really does.
All these different voices, different eras, they're giving us pieces of a puzzle. And when you put them together, it starts to look like a recipe for a pretty good life.
A recipe, I like that.
Yeah, you see the connections, right? Like how Drucker's business advice about creating real value echoes the personal advice about being genuine in relationships.
Mm-hmm. Don't just try to buy people.
Exactly. Or how embracing the terrible to get to the good in creative work teaches you patience, which helps in relationships too. And that awareness of life's preciousness from Aurelius, it fuels the drive to apply what, like Bruce Lee said, it all connects.
And the really cool thing for you listening is this isn't some high-level philosophy just for, wise old gurus or something.
Not at all.
This is stuff you can actually practice.
Yeah.
Right now, today, in small ways, every single day. Wisdom isn't about reaching some perfect state.
Definitely not.
It's more about the process, isn't it? Learning, growing, trying to be a little bit better each day, and crucially, being kind to yourself when you stumble, and kind to others along the way.
Well said. That kindness piece is key.
So let's leave you with a final thought to chew on. If, as we discussed, our main purpose is maybe to be human beings, not human doings.
Mm-hmm.
And if real wisdom comes from actually applying what we learn, from constantly remaking ourselves, then what's one terrible first step, maybe imperfect, maybe a bit scary, that you are willing to take now? A step that could lead to something truly good, not just in what you achieve, but in who you become.